The existence of humankind is a continuous battle for survival, inevitably leading to defeat, as Arthur Schopenhauer stated. Her smile at your scars wasn't because she wished them healed, but because they demonstrated your sacrifices for her. You were told that women desire strength, yet what they truly long for is the sight of fortitude enduring hardship on their behalf. Schopenhauer clearly perceived this, writing, "The fundamental flaw in the character of women is that they possess no sense of justice. And justice, my brothers, commences with gratitude for sacrifice. However, to her, your sacrifice isn't an obligation you're owed. It's simply the expected state of affairs. You were misled not by her ill will, but by your own fantasies. You believed that by purely loving and openly enduring for her, you would gain her admiration. But in reality, your suffering was never a way for her. It was your offering." In his work on women, Schopenhauer asserts, "Women exist primarily and solely for the propagation of the species. This is not a condemnation, but a revelation. For procreation demands more than affection. It necessitates strength, resilience, and pain. You endure hardship, you strive, you build, because your survival proves beneficial to life itself. This explains why a woman's approving smile is seldom freely given to the carefree man. It is reserved for the man who pushes his limits, who silently bears the burden of responsibility, who conceals his pain beneath a facade of determination. She doesn't seek your unending triumphs. She seeks your capacity to shoulder endless burdens without complaint. In the biological drama of existence, women have evolved to admire not the strong in times of peace, but the strong in times of suffering." Schopenhauer, with his stark clarity, cautioned that nature rendered women focused on immediate necessities. Nature has endowed woman with the art of dissimulation for her protection and defense. If her instincts drive her to test your strength through demands, trials, even indifference, it is not malice but a matter of survival. In her world, only the man who perseveres earns his place. Consequently, she becomes both the reflection and the catalyst of male greatness, unconsciously shaping the man through the very suffering he believes he must conceal. However, the modern man, raised on illusions of equality and sentimentality, finds himself either angered or broken by this reality. He anticipates women to value ease, simplicity, vulnerability. He forgets that vulnerability, to the primal mind, signals weakness, and weakness invites rejection. The truth Schopenhauer highlighted was never that women are inherently evil, only that their loyalty to the harsh laws of nature runs far deeper than that of men, who often indulge in sentimental ideals. When she loves, her love is wholehearted, but at the bottom there is always something selfish, he penned. Selfish not out of cruelty, but out of necessity. And so, brother, when you ponder why your endless kindnesses, your gentle words, your sacrifices made without expectation of recognition went unnoticed, remember it is not hatred that made her indifferent. It is that suffering without pride is invisible to her instincts. The man who suffers and rages remains enslaved. The man who suffers and understands becomes free. Schopenhauer taught that life itself is suffering, and that human desires are merely the strings that bind us to pain. To expect that a woman, herself a creature of nature, would inherently value your selfless suffering is to misunderstand the fundamental forces that govern her. To expect her to transcend the very forces that shaped her is to misunderstand the essence of life itself. He wrote, "Woman is by nature meant to obey, not as a declaration of dominance, but as a reality reflecting the necessary balance between masculine creation and feminine selection. A man builds, a woman chooses. A man endures, a woman rewards the one who endures best." If you feel anger upon hearing these words, it is not because they are untrue, but because they threaten the illusions you were conditioned to hold on to. You were not born to be loved for your tenderness, your sweetness, or your intentions. You were born to be tested by life, by fate, and yes, by her. And when you pass these tests, not with bitterness, but with a knowing smile. You rise above the unseen game. Schopenhauer observed that the intellect of women relates to that of children as their physique does to that of men. That is, it is attuned to immediate concerns, to the personal, the tangible, the survival of the present moment. She does not plot your downfall. She is merely tuned to a different frequency, one where comfort takes a back seat to security, and where the man who stands unbroken amid storms is the one who deserves devotion, not pity, not admiration for trying, but for triumphing. And triumph is suffering refined into strength. The error of the modern man is that he seeks sympathy where he should seek respect. He presents his wounds to her, hoping for healing, when only stoic scars awaken her loyalty. You are not called to hide your pain because pain is shameful. You are called to master it. Consider how, even in ancient tales, the heroes who won the hearts of women were not the gentlest or the most accommodating. They were the ones who endured exile, battle, humiliation, even death, and yet did not yield. Achilles, who wept but fought, Odysseus, who suffered but returned. Men who understood that life's pain is not a personal injustice, but a crucible for the soul. Within that crucible, your suffering is not a curse. It is a forge. And if she seems to desire your suffering, it is not because she hates you. It is because deep within, she longs to witness your ascension, to see a man rise not untested but unbroken, to suffer not in despair but with dignity. The more you resist this truth, the more you will suffer uselessly. But when you embrace it, when you accept that your struggle is not only unavoidable but vital, you will cease begging for validation and begin commanding respect. It is not animosity that women bring to the male spirit. It is a mirror reflecting whether that spirit is prepared to bear the crown of life, a crown earned not through ease but through scars. She does not inflict suffering to destroy you. She inflicts it to reveal you. And if you grasp this, you will no longer fear her nature. You will embrace it. The wise man does not wage war against the nature of women. He does not curse the storm. He builds a stronger vessel. Schopenhauer's warnings were never calls to hatred. They were calls to understanding. He wrote, "To marry is to have one's rights and double one's duties. Understand this not as cynicism, but as preparation. A man must not expect the woman to change. He must adjust his expectations, fortify his character, and master his soul. If a woman finds power in your suffering, let it not be the suffering of a man broken by his own illusions, but the suffering of a man who bears the heavy crown of life without complaint. When you embrace your struggle, when you carry it without seeking pity, without begging for gratitude, you cease to be a boy yearning for approval. You become a man who exists beyond it. Your strength must not lie in the absence of pain, but in its presence. Endure not for her gaze, but for your own reflection. Suffer not to earn her love, but to sharpen your spirit against the inevitable hardships of existence. And if in doing so you earn her admiration, it will not be because you sought it. It will be because you transcended the need for it." Schopenhauer, the somber philosopher of existence, still recognized moments of beauty amidst life's cruelty. He did not hate women. He pitied men who misunderstood them. The man who understands can find in a woman not an adversary, but a force of nature, a wind that either shatters weak ships against the rocks or carries strong ships into the vast unknown. And so, my brothers, you must build yourselves into men who do not plead for softness where nature demands strength. You must see women not as the arbiters of your worth, but as the reflections of your readiness. If she challenges you, if she seems indifferent, if she tests you, see in it not treachery, but training. She brings the flame not to consume you, but to temper you. The solution is neither withdrawal nor resentment. It is sovereignty. Build your life first. Ground yourself in a purpose deeper than her approval. Cultivate strength so profound that whether she adores you or abandons you, your spirit remains unmoved. And when you engage with women, do so not from a place of need, but from a place of fullness. Then and only then will you truly live harmoniously with women, not as a boy craving comfort nor as a cynic seeking vengeance, but as a man who knows that love at its highest is not the escape from suffering, but the meeting of two warriors who have survived it. You were not born to be pitted. You were born to be revered. And only through fire is reverence earned. Schopenhauer pointed the way. The rest is yours to walk. Stand tall. Suffer well. Rise beyond the game. If this message resonated deeply within you, if it awakened a truth you always felt but could never quite articulate, then I urge you to join us. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue speaking these truths. Your support is not just for the channel. It's for a movement of choosing strength, clarity, and sovereignty. You'll find the support link in the description below. Together, we rise beyond the illusions,